Hill sponsors Martin vs Joshua on Sky Sports Box Office.
James Holder, Freifeld TV, in association with Macklin's Jim Marbella. With me, I've got the greatest of all humans. He's fighting again, Matthew Macklin. How are you, Matt?
I'm good, thanks. Good.
Got to say, it's sometimes a little bit awkward when we're interviewing your opponents and we introduce ourselves as Macklin's Jim Marbella. So I'm sure Brian will understand the situation.
Yeah, no, Brian knows the score.
How are you, mate?
I'm good, yeah. I'm good. Looking forward to Saturday.
Good. Real sort of crossroads fight for you both. I mean,
Yep.
The importance of this fight for your career as well as Brian's is the magnitude of the fight. How's your camp been for this?
Good, really good. Best for a long time, really. And the mental approach has been right as well. I mean, generally both go hand in hand anyway. You know, if the training's gone well and everything, sparring's gone well, then usually the mind's in a good place. So, I'm looking forward to the fight. I mean, you know, Brian's a good fighter. He's, you know, Lonsdale belt, you know, outright winner. He's fought for a world title, so he's he's good enough that I have to respect him and be up for. It's a fight to be up for, and the stage it's on and the platform it's on as well. You know, Joshua fighting for the heavyweight championship at the O2. You know, it ticks the boxes, and especially on the back of my last performance, if I needed a bit of a kick up the backside before going into a meaningful fight, then I certainly got it, because you know there's no two ways about it. I performed badly. You know, there were positives you can take, as there always are, but generally it wasn't a good performance. You know, I had a competitive fight with someone who really should be getting out there in 3 or 4 rounds, and so you know, of course, then the questions come: would it be a good time to retire? Well, no, because in preparation to the fight, especially the mental approach towards it, you know, that fight, the main thing for me was just making weight. You know, trying to make light middleweight. I wasn't really focused on Jason Wildborn. I probably, without trying to sound disrespectful, I just thought it was a given that I'll stop him in 3 or 4 rounds. So really, my whole focus for that fight was just making weight. You know, but this fight's different. You know, on the back of that performance, I realised that this, you know, I'm very much fighting for my career in this fight. If I lose this fight, then I would retire. You know, if I won this fight and I wasn't dominant or I didn't feel I performed well, I would probably still consider retirement. You know, losing, fact, I would retire. And listen, I wouldn't be too. If I did lose, I would be happy to retire, because I know I've trained well for this fight. I know I've prepared properly, so I would know then that it's just not there anymore, and I would move onto other things in life with happiness and with closure, and I'd be proud and happy of what I've achieved. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do an absolute number on Brian Rose. I think he's a good fighter, but he's very textbook. You know, he does what you're supposed to do. He's easy to read, he's easy to predict, and I think he's tailor-made for me. I think being the biggest, stronger guy, I don't think see what he has to really keep me off with. I don't think it's going to be a painful night for Brian Rose.
You mentioned the word closure. I mean, once your career's done as a boxer and once you retire, you made a point in the press conference today, you don't want to be those ones that, what if? Can I come back? Can I do another camp? So is it very important to you that you fulfil your own potential in your own mind before calling it a day, Matt?
Definitely. I mean, you know, the way my career's panned out, it's been you know, fairly unique in regard to the amount of travelling and the living out of a bag and the different trainers and different gyms in different countries that I prepared out. So, you know, I've really been a nomad. That's the path I probably chose and that it's took me on. And because of that, I think, you know, like, you know, I'm 33, I'm a single man, and you know, I've probably sacrificed a lot for boxing. You know, not maybe going in thinking that, but that's a consequence of the path I've chosen, the way I've gone down it. And you know, I'm ready to move on to other things in life. So, but you know, I'm not ready to just say goodbye to boxing yet. I do want to achieve my potential. I do want to become world champion. You know, if I can't beat Brian Rose, then that's not going to happen. So I would retire. Having said that, you know, I have prepared well for this fight. You know, I've had good sparring with Jason Quigley out in America, good sharp sparring. I sparred with Brophy back here, who's obviously sharp, who's fighting Groves. And most importantly, my mental approach has been right. I'm treating the fight with the right amount of respect. You know, Brian Rose is a good fighter. It's on a big stage, and I'm very up for the fight. And I know it's at stake, like I said. You know, if I'd have lost to Jason Wellborn, I would have retired. But at no stage in the build-up to that fight did I ever think that was even remotely possible. So, you know, even though it was the same, that would have happened then. You know, I didn't think that could happen. Where now, you know, Brian Rose, if I performed like that against Brian Rose, he would beat me. So, you know, I've treated that fight with that attitude. You know, I've gone away to America, I've focused. You know, I'm fit, I'm in good shape, I've sparred, you know, I've took plenty of rest as well. So, you know, I'm not overtrained. I think I feel like I've got the balance perfect. And like I say, I've done hundreds of rounds of sparring, but the sparring I have done has been quality, and it's sharpened me up. And you know, if I wasn't to perform well on Saturday night, then it's down to another reason, which would be a long career, age, whatever. But I don't feel that's the case yet, and I've prepared well and I'm confident going in, and I feel like I'm going to put on a good performance.
Do you feel as if you can win a world title still? I mean, we've looked at some great fighters who've come from this country, from these shores, who haven't been fortunate enough to win a world title. The likes of Harold Graham, the likes of Ryan Rhodes. How confident are you that you can add your name to that world title list, Macklin?
No, I still think I can. I mean, on recent performances, most people would laugh at that, and I would if I was just looking on the surface. But boxing's most of the time a lot deeper than that. You know, I mean, look, Man United can lose to Grimsby. How can that happen? And that's when you got, you know, 11 players and however many subs, and a manager, and this one, and everyone approaching it, and it still happens because we're humans and we underperform sometimes. You know, why? Well, were you injured? Were you ill? Did you not train hard? Did you not get up and run? You know, did you crash the weight? There's so many things that can affect the performance. But for me, the most thing is getting the head right. And yeah, look, on my night, can I beat those guys? Danny Jacobs, definitely. You know, Billy Joe's champion as well. Obviously, he's managed by MGM, so that'd be a little bit awkward. But you know, it's not impossible. But no, Danny Jacobs would be the fight I'd be going after. Golovkin, you know, he's already beaten me, so I don't see that ever coming to fruition. And look, I don't see anyone beating him currently in the middleweight division. But certainly, Danny Jacobs, if that fight could get made, that's a fight I would jump at.
Obviously, Brian Rose has challenged at world level. Yourself as well, you've mixed it at world level. In many people's eyes, you should already have a world title strap. What do you sort of take away from watching Rose against Andrade and seeing him mix at that level? Is there anything that makes you confident coming into this?
I mean, I don't take too much from Andrade. I think he was a little bit out of his depth with Andrade. Having said that, I think Andrade is a good world champion. He's a horrible style to fight, you know, stick southpaw. So, look, he was a little bit out of his depth, but again, Andrade's an awkward fighter. I mean, he's world champion and pretty much avoided because he's got that horrible southpaw style. I think Brian Rose is a European level fighter. I think he was a very good British champion, Lansdale belt, you know, win it outright. He fought for the world title. I don't think he's world class, but I think he's certainly European class. You know, I believe I am world class. You know, I think I proved that against Felix Sturm and Sergio Martinez, even though I didn't beat Martinez. You know, it was a close fight. It was a close fight going into the 11th round. It was nip and tuck. You know, so you know, Golovkin's kind of dismantling everyone, isn't he? So Golovkin's just on his own level at the moment. Yeah, no, I think I am world class. I think Brian Rose is probably European class, and I also think that, you know, I think styles make fights, as is an old cliche in boxing. I think it does, and I think it'll make for a good fight. But I think it's also, I don't think he has the antidote to what I bring to the ring.
Any sort of, not worry's the wrong word, but you spent a lot of time living and training with Bobby Rimmer. He's obviously head trainer for Brian. Is there any sort of worry that they could understand your game plan and sort of read what you intend to do, if you like?
Well, I do what it says on the label, don't I? You know what I mean? I bring it. No, you know, I'm gonna come in there and look to take him out. Really, you know what I mean? Not like a headless chicken, because I've never been like that anyway. But you know, I'm aggressive. You know, I look to come in and I mean, I'm not going to look to steal and pick the fight off Brian Rose. I'm going to look there to knock him out. That's the way I approach pretty much most fights, and you know, this is no different.
Big fight, big undercard. As I said, it's a real, like I said at the start of it, it's a real crossroad fight for you both, and I know how important it is.
Huge crossroads. If I lost this fight, I would retire. If I won this fight and struggled, I would seriously contemplate retiring. You know, if I lost it, just guaranteed retire in the ring next day, whatever. So you know, that's what this fight means. Which, that's a good pressure though, because like I said, I don't see retirement as a bad thing anyway. When it comes, I'll
embrace it.
Once I have closure, I'll embrace retirement. I'm ready to retire, but I'm also happy to. I feel I've got a bit left in me, and I want to just make sure I fulfil my potential. I'd see that out. And right now, if I was retired, I would have niggles. I'd have doubts in my mind that I could have done a bit more and this and that. So this is a good fight because it'll tell me what I need to know about me. Well, I've had a good camp. I'm in a good place. I'm approaching it. I'm giving Brian the right respect he deserves.
Yeah.
And I feel like because of that, I'm going to go in there and do a number on him.
Boxing sort of aficionados, if you like, have favouring towards you. The betting and the bookies are favouring towards Brian. Just want to know what the odds are on Brian getting a nosebleed early on. It's got to be high. It's got to be a pretty good chance.
Yeah. Listen, there's going to be a lot of punches thrown, and he's going to be under the cosh early.
Listen, we're expecting a great contest. I know how much it means to you both. I wish you both the best of luck.
Yeah, me too.
Regardless of any sponsorship agreements.
I wish Brian luck too. And we'll have. Listen, I hope we both come out with our health intact, and we'll have a drink after, regardless.
Like I said, we've sort of recent sort of things happening. The likes we saw with Blackwell and Eubank. It makes it more important that you guys sort of appreciate each other, because you can't have a fight without a good opponent, can you?
No, it's a great fight, and we both need each other, and it's like I say, Brian's a nice lad, a good fighter. Bobby was a true friend to me in Manchester, and listen, I believe I'm going to go and do a number on him. But regardless of the outcome, we'll shake hands and share a drink, and please God we both come out safe and sound.
Top man, Matthew, thank you for giving us some of your time today, and we will catch you at the weigh-in on Friday, no doubt.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
William Hill sponsors Martin vs Joshua on Sky Sports Box Office.